to say something?
Co-main event time here at Hardrock MMA 91, and I think when this fight card was put together, this was the first fight actually announced on this fight card, and people have been buzzing about this fight ever since.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two guys from Cincinnati area, and I don't think they necessarily wanted to fight because they like each other, but both guys, especially Charlie Stanford, saying, you know what, I have a hard time finding fights, and if Pender wants to fight me, then I'll fight him.
Yeah. Well, Charlie's never been one to not take a fight, so when it came down to it, he was just like, I'll fight anybody. And, they both have, the funny thing is like I train with them guys randomly on Sundays when they come over to drive for the Sunday Fun Day events. So having trained with both of them, being friends with all of them, and like even in the back, like they're laughing and talking and having a good time and stuff. So as a fighter, I have always liked going into a fight knowing that there's not this animosity or anything. Even if I don't know the person, they didn't kill my family member or something, you know what I mean? Like, you're going in there to have they have the same goals, obviously, but to have a good time at doing it and be friendly about it, it's always.
And speaking of having a good time, it's nice to see sort of a big smile on the face of Charlie Stanford.
Yeah.
I talked to him leading up during fight week, and, unfortunately he's had a rough string here in his last few fights, 1-5 in his last 6 fights. Of course, that kind of started with the loss to Cody Garbrandt, kind of turned the tide of his career. He was 5-2 at that point, and he admitted going into his last couple of fights that really just you kind of lost sight of really lost the passion for it, and admitted, hey, he thought about hanging it up after his fight against Ruben Moore, which was back last October, and excited to see him, excited to get another fight and get back in there, and really excited to fight again and kind of renew that passion for the sport here.
Absolutely.
Leading up to this fight.
Yeah.
Because he is definitely an exciting fighter, a guy that I've been a fan of for a long time, and ever since he was, coming up to Central Ohio and beating all the guys up there, and people were wondering who are these G-Force guys, and he was definitely one of the guys who made people take notice of G-Force and Ron Gableman's fight team.
Yep. I know he had some pro boxing stuff that he did for a little while because he couldn't get MMA fights.
Jeremy Pender, and interesting that these guys are both the same age. This is Pender's 40th recorded fight in MMA, 27th as a pro.
Yep.
And last time we saw him, took a tough loss against Adam Fritz at Hardrock MMA 89, but still 3-2 overall in his last 5 fights. Just a really well-rounded guy who has fought anywhere from 125 up to this fight's at 145. And I think he's had even a couple of fights at 155 as well. So,
yeah, Jeremy's one of the originals too. I mean, you have two of the, biggest fight teams in Cincinnati between Vision and G-Force, and with having the most active fighters and things like that. So, they definitely have.
I don't think there's ever been any animosity there, but I think there's always been sort of a healthy rivalry, and definitely a shared amount of respect between the two gyms as well.
Absolutely, for sure. Jeremy Pender just, his wife Marissa just had another baby, I believe. I think that's number 2. He's got Tiger Banks in his corner.
And I talked to Pender as well and said that this is a fight that has a potential to be a great fight, and he said he guarantees it doesn't go 15 minutes.
No, I can't see that it will, honestly.
Of course, all 13 of Pender's wins have come via stoppage, 11 of them via submission.
Yeah.
And if you're designing the game plan for Jeremy Pender, you think you probably might want to try to get this to the ground. We saw in Charlie Stanford's last fight against Ruben Moore, just really got out-wrestled for 15 minutes, and you think he might be trying to do the same thing that Ruben Moore was able to do to Charlie Stanford in the last fight?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Jeremy's he's good on his feet too, so I could see that Jeremy might stand with him for a while, and regardless of where it goes, I think it'll be a really good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
competition is the 145-pound pro division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 145 pounds, representing Team G-Force from Cincinnati, Ohio, Charles the Trinity Stanford. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the B2 digital blue corner, weighing in at 146 pounds, representing Vision MMA from Cincinnati, Ohio, Jimmy Honeyboy Pender.
Co-main event here at Hardrock MMA 91. Charlie Stanford in the black and red, Jeremy Pender in the black. John House, third man in the cage. A lot of people have been waiting in anticipation for this fight.
Yeah.
Interesting no glove touch there at the beginning of the fight.
No.
Right hand lands there from
Oh,
Stanford.
wow.
He clipped Pender.
Almost turned his back.
Pender looks wobbly here.
Yeah, he caught him with a right hand and a left hook. Pender's composed again, though.
Yeah, even threw a knee.
Got to wonder how much that affects Pender going forward.
Almost kind of.
And Stanford not wanting to grapple. Throwing some straight punches right down the pipe.
Big knee.
Another overhand
right.
He's landing on Pender here early.
Another right. Pender's coming back.
And I think Charlie Stanford, we immediately see him fighting a lot looser than we saw him against Ruben Moore.
Yeah.
Another straight right. And he's leading with that right hand, too.
Yeah.
Scott,
His closing distance really nice with it. That way he can cover in and he gets that hook. Nice hook to the body.
Yeah, throwing that right hand and then that left hook. That 2-3.
Yep.
And then a
and
nice
following with the knee and the clinch.
Muay Thai
Pender's got
clinch.
some nice uppercuts on the inside there.
Stanford is certainly the aggressor. Pender's
Nice.
mouthpiece went out.
Some nice head movement from Jeremy there when they were in the pocket.
And now Pender trying
He's
to
going for that single.
go for the single, but he's already taken a lot of damage here.
Some big elbows to the side of the head. Got to
Charlie's-
watch those. Can't
yeah.
take too much of that.
Charlie did a good job sprawling, but Pender still able to pull those legs out from under him. And this is the question of where, how Charlie Stanford get back to his feet. Saw him, Ruben Moore was able to out-wrestle him in his last fight. Now he's on the cage, needs to be able to wall walk here.
Yeah. And being on the padded part, if you're going to wall crawl, that'd be a nice part to do it, so you're saving some of your back meat.
Pender looks like he's in half guard here. Charlie has that.
The crowd
Briefly had that overhook. Pender really looking to try to slow things down here, slow the pace.
They put his mouth.
get out of
back
this
in for him.
round. If I'm Pender, I'm looking to get out of this round.
Yeah.
Pender looking to try to step on that instep there, get out of that half guard, but a lot of times
Charlie's coming up, stands right up.
did a good job exploding up
Nice.
there.
That's what Stanford wants.
Yeah.
That's another right hand that landed. He's doing a nice job of countering off of anything that Pender does.
Yep.
Left
Oh,
hook,
nice.
excuse me.
Pender level changing under. Charlie's grabbing the head to pull him back up. A little scrambling. Pulling it cross facing, pull his head up.
Needs to dig that underhook really to kind of turn Pender off of him. Has that overhook on the left side. If he can, try to dig that underhook.
Switches.
Pender now trying to
Gotta
drag
watch his
Charlie
leg
to the
now.
ground.
Oh, wow. He's going for it.
Looks like he's going for a heel hook here.
He's got to be careful on this.
Looks like he's out of there.
Charlie's got taped ankles, which does not help in this position. Some big punches. But again, he's got to watch doing that because you commit your weight to one side. He's out.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of times the way to get a guy to let go of your leg is just start punching him in the face.
Yeah.
Don't have that advantage in
Pretty
jiu-jitsu.
No.
That was basically from the mat that he threw that punch.
Yep. Oh!
Straight right hand. Dropped Pender, and Stanford, the counters off of anything he throws. He wants to finish this fight with a knockout, and Pender really just kind of almost falls into him and able to get the takedown. 10 seconds left here.
Okay.
And if you're the judges, you know, Stanford did a lot more damage,
Yeah.
but Pender had those 2 takedowns.
Yeah. You have a ton of
If I'm a judge, that's a pretty clear round for Charlie Stanford, but
yeah.
a lot of times judges score takedowns a lot more than they score the striking, which really is kind of a questionable judging, but I think that should be 1 round to Charlie Stanford.
Very clear-cut round
I would agree
to
for
Stanford, in my opinion, also.
I've had fights, though, where I've completely worked people on their feet, and I got taken down a couple times and immediately bounce right back up, nullify what they do, and then lose by decision.
The judges say that you lost that round.
Because he took you down, and it's like.
That should be inexcusable. The judges should not score a takedown or a big slam as points, or any, in my opinion.
Right.
The crowd gets excited from stuff like that.
Right.
That's my
unless
opinion.
unless you can do it and then advance to a good position and get submissions, or continue working towards the submissions or ground and pound or something like that.
Pender did get those 2 takedowns, but what did he do with them?
Well, yeah.
That's
but still,
the big
they were
question.
solid takedowns.
This fight is far from over, but in my opinion, Pender was fortunate to have got out of the round.
They're both smiling and having a good time there at the beginning of the round.
Flying knee there from Stanford. Landed to the chest of Pender.
Keep in mind, Pender, when he wins by decision. So all it takes is...
Actually, Pender, all of his wins have been via stoppage.
Okay, I'm sorry, stoppage.
Yeah, 11 submissions and 2 knockouts, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, most of his losses have been via decision. So.
I'm sorry, I meant to say via submissions.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
And
I have to give it for this. To watch 2 people come out and trade the way they are, it's an honor to sit here and watch this so far. Because they have both come out this round firing.
I like that Charlie is leading with that straight right hand down the pipe and then following up with it. Following up every single time with that hook. That was an elbow that looked like it landed there to the jaw of Pender. Charlie looks to be very comfortable in the middle of the cage here. Really relaxed with his striking.
Yeah, both of them are. I mean, they are, like I said, they're both definitely.
And I think that also might be he's seen that, yeah, Pender can take you down, but you're able to get back up. He's not going to lay on you for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, nice combination by Pender with a 310. Just throwing the 2 and rolling. Nice 1-2 from him. And caught our 2 on the way out.
Stanford, again, countering off of everything. Pender's been the guy that's been first, but Stanford a lot more damage with those strikes.
Who was it who said they didn't think this fight would go 15 minutes? I think that's accurate.
Nice
switch by Stanford.
Was able to get those hips out off of the cage immediately and end up on top. See this high guard here from Jeremy Pender. See Pender with wrist control here, maybe looking for a triangle. Yeah,
he's going.
Looks like he's trying to armbar here.
Yeah, he went to switch for it.
Stanford's corner definitely telling him to watch for that arm bar. From this position, though, to really truly set up an arm bar, it's going to be tough to catch a guy that's as experienced as Charlie Stanford.
Yeah.
Now they're back on their feet. Nice sprawl there from Stanford. He looked like he was trying to pick his shot.
Yeah.
Lets Pender get back up. About 2 minutes left to go here in round number 2. And Stanford definitely willing to take one to give one in this second round. Nice head movement there from Stanford as well. Nice level change from Pender. Gets that trip takedown.
That was a beautiful move by Jeremy Pender on that.
Now already passes here into mount. Looking to try to grapevine those legs here. Get his hips in. Stanford in a precarious position.
He's got an arm behind the head, and he's going to start working for an arm triangle.
Stanford from this position needs to try to pick his spot and just try to buck Pender off of him. Looked like Pender might have been going for that Americana or key lock there on the right side. Stanford hasn't really tried to bridge thus far.
Yeah, he hasn't done much to try to get out from underneath him at this point. Just kind of pulling him down and holding. Now he
nice
rolls.
Hip switch there.
Wow.
Nice.
Almost gave him his back.
Explosive. Yeah.
Very nice recovery by
Picked his
Stanford.
spot and went.
Yeah. Good explosiveness.
Helps to be a great athlete.
It does. It does. And young.
Under 30 seconds left to go here in round number 2. Stanford ate a left hook there from Pender. Pender just trying to throw that short check left hook.
Yeah.
Just missed with it. Oh, ate a couple shots there, did Pender.
He's throwing elbows now from the outside instead of throwing the punches. He's throwing overhand like right
you wonder
elbow.
if maybe there's some sort of damage to the hand when fighters start doing that.
Yeah.
And that's it in round number 2. We are going to a third and
Great fight here so far between these two guys. I think probably 2 rounds to Charlie Stanford, unless you guys disagree.
The second round was more of a question to me.
Yeah. I would say. Go ahead.
I would say it could go either way almost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would go with that. Again, you have the stand-up from Charlie, and then on the ground you have. I mean, Jeremy did good on his feet too, but when they were on the ground, it was because of Jeremy's takedowns. Charlie sprawled a few of those and missed, and got back really quickly. So no real damage on the ground, but again, it's hard to say what they're going to look at.
Definitely evenly matched fight here between these two guys.
Tiger Banks, the Thai coach for Jeremy Pender, in there working with him. He's definitely shown some of his skill set from there that he's worked with. Great show of sportsmanship from these two, and
definitely the high level of respect between these two. And I think they were excited and also not excited about this fight.
Yeah.
It's harder to fight, I think, a lot of times a guy that you like. See some blood coming out of the nose of Jeremy Pender. Nice knee there from Stanford.
Yeah.
You see Pender with those feints.
Yep.
Trying to bait Stanford into that counter and then maybe trying to duck under, change levels. Nice left hook, step off left hook there from Jeremy Pender. Stanford catches the kick and throws a body kick.
Nice left hook on the way in.
Interesting that Stanford almost had Pender backed into the corner there and backed off a little bit.
Well,
Left hook there. Just misses from Charlie Stanford.
Yep.
There's a straight left. He's countering everything. There's a left.
You get the feeling that either of these fighters are fatigued?
I don't think it's so much fatigue as it is just the punishment aspect of taking shots like that. Obviously their cardio is going to be really good.
You got two guys who have, 26 fights and 13 pro fights.
Yeah.
As Pender now on the ground here in half guard, and you think maybe at this point he probably thinks, hey, and now you see the blood just streaming. I'm not sure if that's the blood coming from. Yeah, it is the blood from the nose.
Yeah, Jeremy's nose is opened up pretty good.
Might be a broken nose here from Jeremy Pender. And
Charlie's doing good at blocking all the punches that are coming. He's not taking any punishment on top.
Trying to get his feet on the cage here and try to wall walk.
He's taking a few body punches.
The guard is open for Stanford. Now closes it. Pender throwing some body shots here.
Pender's ear is bleeding also.
Pender again looking for that arm triangle.
Yep.
Looking to he needs to get this right knee out to try to finish it.
Yeah, Charlie's going to have to explode to roll out of this and try to get back to his feet because
looks like Pender almost has his knee out.
Stanford trying to hold on to the half guard, but it doesn't look like he's able to.
Stanford looks like he's trying to turn in, maybe sweep and buck. Yeah, he's not going to finish this here. Stanford has that left arm down. Needs to try to bridge and escape out. Pender doing a good job here, staying on top.
Yeah.
This is when it gets even harder to stay on top, when you're slippery and sweaty, and then there's also
the blood aspect.
Yeah, some blood thrown in there as well.
This is a war.
Charlie's doing good at
another hip.
Oh, right
watch
to
his
his back.
back. Oh.
It looks like he slipped it right in. Looks like he may have slipped the rear naked choke right in. I don't know if he's got it deep enough.
This looks like it's pretty tight here. Pender has it locked in.
Wow. Stanford pulling his hand down. What defense from Stanford to stay alive. And he tapped.
Wow. Absolutely fantastic fight there. As Pender takes the blood. One of the things I think I noticed is Stanford was trying to explode out. It looks like he might have slipped on some of the blood that was in the middle of the cage, and that enabled Pender to take the back and get the choke. Nevertheless, a great fight. Everything that we expected that fight to be.
Yeah.
And here come the fight of the night trophies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Difficult to top that.
And Stanford upset at the loss, but knows that it's to a tough fighter in Jeremy Pender. Hard to say that any guy lost that fight because that was a great fight.
Both guys embracing very good sportsmanship. As you said, they're friends.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes and 5 seconds of round number 2. Referee Big John has called a stop to the fight. Your winner, tap out to rear naked choke, Jeremy Ponyboy Pender. And an absolute related topic, fight of the night, right here.
What a fight.
Yeah.
What a fight.
Clearly the fight of the night.
Wow.
You think Pender broke his nose?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did or not. He definitely, there's a lot of blood streaming out of it.
Great sportsmanship there. It's good to see that.
Fun. It was a war, man. That's what I'm here for. Guys, I don't know. Did you think you were winning going into round 3 or tied or what?
We were 1-1, I thought. The mount and the takedown in the second. Or the,
Gotcha.
In the second.
A little busy, a
So
little-
Pender thought he'd won the second round.
We'll take your breath away.
I think I agree with that.
Anyone you want to say thanks for coming out to?
everybody on my team, Team Vision MMA, Cincy and Dayton, all my students, my family, my roommate Hannah, fucking my wife. Where's my wife at? There she is. Max, my son, AJ. He's at home with Nana. Where's Aaron? Slusher, thanks for hooking me up with some cardio. Jason, fucking,
Pender giving shout outs to everybody.
Who's your winner and fight of the night?
40th fight for Jeremy
That's
Pender.
what his wife was saying.
I don't think he's slowing down anytime soon either.
That's a fight.